Good evening. Just creating the video that goes to my health communications prenatal substance exposure brochure. In conducting my research, I did some Google searches and did some internet searches regarding the topic, just to get a basic understanding of what is involved and what it means to have a newborn that is addicted to an opioid. Found out lots of good information from various sources, both governmental sources, also nonprofits, and also personal experiences and newspaper articles and magazine articles. So then after that, I went a little bit farther and decided to conduct a qualitative research kind of survey. Used a very small sampling of individuals and asked them 3 open-end questions that they could provide me answers with. One of those questions was, what would their concerns be if they were adopting or fostering a child with an opioid addiction? I also asked them what resources they felt they would find useful in helping them make that decision and helping them navigate through the complex issues in trying to make that decision. Then I also asked them if they decided to proceed with fostering or adopting a child that had an opioid addiction, what resources they felt they would need ongoing to raise that child from a newborn up to childhood, young adulthood, and on into actual adulthood in some cases. So it was a lot of good information. I got a lot of good information. I had 4 people actually respond to those questions out of 5, and they gave me a lot of good information. So they had a lot of information about resources they felt that they would need and resources that they would want to have on hand should they make that decision to take that next step. For my design choices, I wanted it to be very simple. I didn't want the reader to feel like they were bombarded with a ton of information that they couldn't process, and I didn't want them to feel like the brochure was overly crowded and had a lot of just stuff that they didn't need. So I wanted it to be very simple, very easy to understand, and I wanted it to look nice but give the reader not so much aesthetics that they needed to kind of navigate through. I wanted them to get the information and to be able to make their decision. In regards to the distribution of the brochure, I think that the brochure would be very well received from healthcare clinics and doctors' offices. I think also certain nonprofit organizations would be able to solicit and send out the information that I've provided. In addition, I also think that high schools and possibly colleges would be able to use the brochure to educate students about both drugs and pregnancy and how the two combined can have a long-lasting effect on their choices that they decide to make. So I know that teen pregnancy in our local schools has been an issue, and as well as drugs. So I think combining the two in the brochure and making that available to high school students and college students would be a good avenue. I also think many community centers and those kinds of places would be a good spot for that brochure. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that it provides the information that you requested in the assignment. And if you have any questions about it, you can just give me an email. Thank you.